All right, so for the next thing here, we are going to want to take our base mesh that we made from humanoid, make human, and I'm going to bring it into Sculptress, and I am going to model on top of it in order to get the character. Okay, so you can just follow that link on here to, where are you? Have it up here, Pixelogic Sculptress. You go there. They're going to ask for your email address. You just punch it in there, and you can download and install it. Okay. So here we have it, we have this sphere. What I need to do is actually import my model. So I'm just going to go to import OBJ, import the model from the other thing, and I'm going to do a new scene. And I don't want to go to paint data because I want to sculpt. And there it is. Okay. So I'm probably going to do sections at a time because otherwise it's going to be a long video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I don't want to have bare feet. So I'm going to go down here and basically remove that. So the easiest way to do that is to use the reduce brush. And I'm going to try and reduce. Okay, so you see how it's not affecting both sides? I'm going to turn on symmetry. Boom. And now when I paint, what happens on one side should happen on the other, theoretically. And this is not really doing too much for some reason. So let's see. That is weird. Okay. Alright, seems to be working up there. Alright, so I'm going to hold shift. That's not shift. Alright, we'll use the keyboard. I'm going to hold shift, and then I'm going to try paint this again. There it goes. Okay. So I'm going to take these details out, and then I'm going to hold shift again, and take some more details out. Good. So now I got rid of the feet. It looks a bit like I got, gangrene and had to chop off a foot or something, but the other way, I got rid of that. So then I'm just going to go ahead and I'll use the grab here. I'm going to hold space bar, click this down a little, and I'm just going to mask this out so I don't accidentally put anything in there. I'm going to go to the mask here and make sure the strength's all the way up. There we go. And again, hit control. All right. And then I'm just going to use the grab. And I'm going to take this and we're going to pull this out a little bit. Good. And make sure details up. So I'm just going to kind of grab, there we go. I'm going to hold control, click and drag to clear out the mask. And I'm going to hold shift and try to smooth this out a little bit. It's not the greatest feat I've ever seen, but it's okay. Okay. So let's see what we got. All right, so that's kind of a foot. All right, so I got that done, and I guess from here, I'm just going to work on making sleeves and things. So the easiest way to me to do this is to actually use the masks. So I'm gonna hold. Let's see, am I holding control? That's not control. That's shift. Okay, is this control? There we go. I'm gonna hold control. I'm gonna turn off W because I don't need the wireframe anymore. And I'm going to picture that I'm wearing a t-shirt, and I'm actually going to undo that. And let's see. So the t-shirt, we'll say, goes right here. So I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to paint where I think the sleeve would be. Okay. I'm going to hold shift real quick and just kind of smooth this out. Oops. Maybe not. There, smooth that out. Okay. So I'm going to hold control, and we're going to paint a bunch of this here where I want the sleeve to be. And make sure I get back here too. Oops. Got to hold control. Control. Dip. Alright. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold control and tap. It inverts my selection. I'm going to go to scale. And I'm going to switch this to global. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just pull this out a little bit like so. I'm going to go a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to use move, make sure it's on global still. I'm going to pull this out a little bit this way. And I'm going to pull a little bit forward. Basically just trying to get it so I have a line here for where the shirt ends. Okay, now I'm going to hit control, click and drag, clear out the mask. And then I am going to go ahead and we'll go back to draw and just going to hold shift and I'm going to smooth out this part. This part I didn't really want the line, it's just the other part. And then you can see I have a nice little line here for my sleeve, okay? And that's basically how I'm going to do all of the things like that. So I want to have a collar, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold spacebar, make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to hold control, and I'm basically going to draw a collar line, okay? And we'll just go a little bit closer. All right, and I'm just going to kind of go like that. All right, okay, good. Now I'm going to hold control, tap, inverse my selection. I'm going to go to grab, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull that kind of straight up like so. Good. I'm going to hold control, tap, or control, click, and drag, and then I'm going to hold shift. Make sure I'm back on my draw tool here. I'm going to hold shift, make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to hold shift, and I'm just going to smooth out that. All right. Good. And you can see roughly how I'm going to go about basically making the clothes here. Okay, so I'm going to pause it and do the rest, and then we'll come back. Okay, I actually decided not to pause it. Let's just go ahead and do it all. So if you look in here, you can see this is like if the shirt was really tight, it obviously wouldn't be. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm just going to add some mass to this. Let's see, am I on draw? Yeah, I am on draw. Okay. Let's just check something real quick. W. Why are you not drawing? Let's see. Bit of dirt. Let's just see something. So I actually had to quit it and restart it. Sometimes that happens in Sculptress. It'll just stop drawing. I'm not 100% sure why that happens, but it is frustrating. And it's doing it again all of a sudden. Oh, let's see. W. It's weird. Alright. All of a sudden it did that again, but looks like it's working again. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. Alright. So I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to fill this out a little bit. And let's, oops, sorry, not that one. Smooth that out. Alright, just so that looks a little bit more realistic. And I'm picturing there just being kind of a shirt here. So I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna turn the wireframe back off, and I'm gonna take this and make this down a little bit smaller, and I'm just gonna basically kind of draw a little bit bigger actually where the shirt line would be. Okay, something like, actually, you know what, let's use, I'm gonna use the clay version, that way it's sort of a little bit more linear, like so. You can see that makes more of a linear line. And let's say like that. Okay. Good. All right. And then I'm just going to, turn clay mode back off, and I'm going to hold shift and just smooth out the top part. Okay. And voila. We'll call that a shirt line. Now, if you look, the legs are a bit, I don't know. They're a little bit too detailed, really. The butt here, I'd have a major wedgie if that was on me. So I'm going to use my draw tool here a little bit smaller and try to hold shift and smooth that out, and draw and smooth that out, because I don't think I would have quite that much of stuff there. Let's make this a little bit bigger and hold shift to smooth that out. Alright, so I am going to make this a little bit bigger and softly try to just, and then hold shift, just trying to get rid of some of the form here, because really if this was pants you wouldn't see all that. It would be much less of that. So I'm just trying to hold shift and draw a little bit each time. So I'm going to do my pant legs, which will be right down here. And again, I'm going to use clay for this, and I'll make this smaller. So you can either do the mask mode or use this clay mode. It's kind of whatever works for you, really. Okay, so I'm just kind of going around, and I'm going to go ahead and add some up here as well to help it blend in, like so. Okay. Okay. Like that. And I'm going to hold shift again and smooth all this out. Okay, smooth it out. Smooth it out. Smooth. Smooth. Okay. And now I'm going to turn this that mode back off, and I need to make some shoes. So I'm just going to hold shift. I'm going to hold spacebar and take the strength down a bunch. Okay. And shift. So I'm just trying to get this to be around here. All right, and good. So trying to fill in some of the stuff. All right. And let's make this a little bit bigger. And just smoothing constantly after each stroke. Okay. I'm going to take the bottom here and use the flat. And I am just going to draw across it like so to try and flatten that. Like that. And that will flatten that somewhat. That's definitely going to need some more work. Okay, so let's see. We got kind of that, and that. Last thing I really need to do is basically add some hair. All right, so one of the things that you can do is you can click on enable a brush, and then I'm just going to close these out so you can kind of see. And then you can click on new, and then you can add, like, I grab streaks here, and I have this streaks thing, which is usually pretty good for, and I'm just going to double click on it, which is usually pretty good for hair. Undo that, make this directional. But you'll see it's just, there's not enough geometry there to really support it, even though I put the detail all the way up. So I find instead of trying to use the brush in any way with the textures enabled, that typically you're just better off just doing it by hand. So I'm going to turn that off. And what I'm going to do is just try to draw the hair as best as I can. So I'm going to give a sort of part. Oops, let's take this back a little bit. So, alright, and just going to kind of draw strokes like so. Alright, and we'll make these a little bit bigger for up here. Make it back a little bit smaller for back here. Mainly just trying to add volume at this point. I'm not expecting it to have all the details that I need. Just the basic stuff. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Make it smaller yet. Okay. Like so. And I'll even, oops, that's not that one. Get in here and let's see, it's a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to kind of add, I have pretty strong brows, so this kid's based off of me, so I'm just going to make that a little bit larger, and let's make this like so. Smooth that just a touch. And then I'm going to take this down a little. And kind of getting into details here, but you get kind of the idea. Alright. So I'm going to do one more sculpting video, and then from there I'll continue on. Alright, so okay.